Last time on Who Wants to Be a Superhero? Though initially, and surprisingly, seeming to be on the same page as Goku and Piccolo, Gotenks would make his arrival in a last-ditch effort to save the reputation of the Great Saiyaman. After all, what is a superhero without a supervillain? Though predictably, our damsel in distress, or rather, Vegeta, would inevitably obliterate our villain's moral of being decisively helpful for a change, leading our Great Saiyaman characters to face off against an infuriated, immature warrior, while the world looks on in shock.
This story was created by Michsi and part of an ongoing series. Support him using the links below.
After using Vegeta as a Super Saiyan sledgehammer, the prince bellows, "This day has been the worst!" as a familiar voice grumbles just out of eyeshot, "I'll say." Clearly not very happy with the situation, and now largely no longer in costume, Gotenks gripes that they've hit him with 2 cheap shots in a row, and he himself has yet to land a single hit.
Let's rectify that!
Effortlessly plunging both our pseudo-heroes into the pavement, the fused fighter claps the dust off his hands, still appearing annoyed, but somewhat satisfied in finally getting to pay them back for both times they hit him. As Goku at last gets involved, realizing the situation is now clearly out of hand, he chastises the child for his obtuse actions, though he tries to argue, and fairly at that they started it. But Goku doesn't care. He demands he take it down a notch, prompting Gotenks to tell him to listen, he is no one's punching bag. If they won't stick to the script, then neither will he. Mirroring Piccolo from only a moment ago, Goku begins to think he owes the Namekian an apology. Zipping down, he figures he should at least make sure they're okay. Sensing them out, he first goes to get Vegeta back on his feet, who screams, "No!" The prince puts his foot down, vowing he will not come out. He doesn't want to help anymore. He tells Goku to explain to Bulma that he's staying under these rocks forever and it's her fault. Not much further away, we have Piccolo.
"Can I be done with this now? I want to be done with this now. Would it be so bad if I made it seem like the Great Saiyaman abandoned a fight? Hardly, but at this point I'll take what I can get." "Huh? Dad? If I can't get you to take revenge on Goku and create hell on Earth, the very least you could do is make them feel a little uncomfortable. Leave. Let them think their hero is a coward, and teach that brat a lesson. Let him pick up the pieces."
Don't you dare! You owe that child too much, so stand up and go back out there. Embarrassment is a small price to pay for righteousness.
Can't you at least let me have this?
You don't deserve anything!
How hard did I hit my head? Ugh. That was it. That was rock bottom.
Picking himself up and clothes beaming himself back into pristine appearance, the Great Saiyaman begins to develop an idea. In the air, Gotenks whips his head from side to side, looking for any sign of his opponent. At the same time, he gripes how he can't find his mustache.
"Oh, that was the best part of the costume!"
He sets his focus back on the objective at hand. He screams out,
"Isn't hiding a sign of cowardice? Is this any way for a hero to behave?"
Using telepathy, Piccolo tells him he prefers to call it strategy. He might want to look it up. Concealing his power level, Piccolo spies on his adversary from afar. He knows he has to word this right and makes sure he takes the bait. Still utilizing his telepathic abilities, he taunts Gotenks that he only has about 5 minutes left and that's not enough time for him to find him. He tells Gotenks to just give up. There are too many places to search and he can't be everywhere at once, all the while thinking to himself, "Come on." But this back and forth plants a seed in the villain's mind. He can't be everywhere at once. Or can he? As Gotenks spits out his Super Ghost Kamikaze attack, this is exactly what Piccolo was aiming for. The boy aligns the troops and organizes their plan, and notices they decided to keep the mustache, which he thinks was a good call. He then commands them to spread out and find him, blow him up. But only a little, this isn't for real. But after thinking about it for a second, GOHAN'S begins to worry if that's even possible for them. Though he's able to shrug off his concern just as quick.
Piccolo can regenerate, and there's always the Dragon Ball's worst case scenario.
Grabbing GOHAN'S by the arm, Piccolo intentionally gains the attention of all his ghost minions, which puts off the fused warrior. Asking if he's really going the self-sacrifice route. Then again, this has kind of become his specialty over the years. Piccolo then shows his regeneration abilities are also useful against burn damage, as he turns to his foe and confidently claims, "Not quite." And switch! As foreshadowed moments ago, the clothes beam makes its reappearance. GOHAN'S frantically tries to figure out what's going on as he looks himself up and down. The Namekian laughs, as it looks like he can make a replica of that stupid outfit after all, if it means putting it on someone he doesn't like. While noticing what Piccolo has done, GOHAN'S still tries to figure out why he's done it.
You'll see.
Wait! You have got to be kidding me! It's me, you idiots! Can't you tell by my voice? By my key? My height? Damn it, why are you so stupid?
Piccolo is in disbelief. He can't believe it actually worked. Those foolish ghosts fell for it. However, he believes it would be wise to change back into the Great Saiyaman before anyone sees him. Then, he hears some coughing nearby. GOHAN'S is still completely conscious, but it does appear he has seen better days. He even compliments our hero. That was a nice trick. Except now he's out in the open. He can't hide anymore, and he himself is still here. And sure, he is, but that will only be the case for another 10 seconds. But 10 seconds? Earlier he said he had 5 minutes. Which Piccolo arrogantly replies to, "Yes, I did say that." He knows how much GOHAN'S loves to fool around when he thinks he has enough time, so maybe this will teach him to keep better track of it himself.
Oh, fine. You win.
With their time up, GOHAN'S becomes Goten and Trunks once more. So, coming to their senses and finishing the job they agreed upon. In character, Trunks shouts out, "This isn't over, and they will have their revenge," before awkwardly slinking away. However, with the gang so high up in the air, it's somewhat hard to tell what's going on from the ground below. When Goku, finding the mustache, shouts out the Great Saiyaman has won, they are saved. But is he sure? Again, they're so far up nobody can really tell what happened. Not to mention all those explosions from a few seconds ago. When someone else chimes in,
I can't be sure, but I think I saw a smaller guy get ripped in half, and then pull himself back together and fly away, right?
With everybody just kind of shrugging off the weirdness, the crowd erupts into cheer and celebrations. He did it! The Great Saiyaman saved them all! Although undoubtedly happy the situation is over, Piccolo doesn't know how to feel about Goku being right about all this. Gently tossing the damsel into the superhero's arms, Goku calls out that it's time for the final touch. He whispers that here is where he waves and poses for pictures, but as for himself, he's gonna go get Bulma. They might need her money for, property damage. The pair embrace what's going on as best they can. Vegeta even congratulating Piccolo on everything. Though he can't help but be worried that these rings didn't disappear, even after GOHAN'S defused.
No, you should be fine.
Are you sure?
Back at Capsule Corp, Bulma isn't even the slightest bit worried about paying to repair the damages done today. She has enough cash to rebuild the city 5 times over if she had to. So as long as there were no casualties, they don't need to bother Shenron with it, though they may need him to get those rings off.
Hey Bulma!
Right on time, Gohan and Videl return from their exams. Videl explains they would have been done sooner, but someone had to go over his answers 3 times. But this exam was worth 30 points. He couldn't just leave it like that. That's when Gohan questions his father why he's here, and was that Gotenks they sensed earlier? As someone else gets Videl's attention. She asks Vegeta what he's wearing, but what does she mean? It's her costume, isn't it? It might have started out as that, but ended up a frilly pink glittered mess. Yeah, she'd never wear that. Darting his gaze towards his wife, she admits she was angry. Not addressing the situation further, Vegeta stomps off in the other direction as Bulma inquires as to where he's going, in which he replies, home. He needs to re-evaluate his life choices. Bulma requests that if he's planning on turning evil again, to just please give them all a heads up this time. While Videl and Goku chat in the background, Gohan approaches Piccolo. He asks his friend if he's doing okay. He's going awfully quiet. And the simple truth is, the Namek guesses he wasn't sure what to say to him. He only hopes Gohan realizes what a mistake this was. Surprisingly, he quips, I sure do.
Well, I didn't mean... It didn't end as badly as it could have, but...
Have you seen what they're saying on social media?
On what?
Do you know what's trending?
You know I don't.
The new Great Saiyaman. Everyone is talking about how cool he was today. Imposing, brutal. I won't so much as jaywalk if he's around now. I mean, the Great Saiyaman has had a share of popularity, but it never took off like this before. I should have known you'd raise the bar for me. Try as I might, I just never managed to be as cool as you.
Still not knowing what to say, but now for other reasons, he tries to stutter that Gohan is fine just the way he is, as Videl comes out of nowhere to teasingly ask if he's blushing. Panicked, the Namek tries to argue otherwise, but Goku joins in as another antagonizing force, daring him to take off the helmet. After all, he's been wanting to do so the entire day. The gang breaks out in laughter, and Piccolo shouts for Gohan and his girlfriend to get away from him, and for Goku to shut up. A few days later, on Kami's lookout.
91 out of 100 points? You make me go through all that and this one time you don't get the full score?
Yeah, but I'm still at the top of my class, so it's fine. And as long as I say it like that to Mom, she won't think to ask about the actual grade. So I'm safe.
I'm telling Chi-Chi.
Wait, what? You're joking, right? You're not really going to... Please don't do this to me! Please!